Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Podcast of Stuff, episode 149. Basically, is going to be the E3 cast.
Welcome to the E3 cast.
There's one thing I want to talk about before that, though. Any of you guys seen Dark Phoenix?
I was going to go see it today, but I decided to do it tomorrow so I can see. There's another movie coming out tomorrow that I want to see. So I decided to just do both of those.
I'm planning on Tuesday.
Okay.
Next Tuesday?
Yeah.
What time?
Like 5.
MJR?
course. What you who you think I eat?
I can meet you up there.
And that's up to you.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll be seeing it
I'm
next
going anyway.
Tuesday.
I want to see Ma as well.
That's the other movie I want to see.
I've heard that was good.
But I think like the Man in Black 3 comes out tomorrow.
No, thank you.
I mean, the new Man in Black. It's something coming out tomorrow where I'm like, I want to see that. But no, I haven't seen it yet. How is it?
How to say? I personally think it's better than Apocalypse.
It's not
a high bar.
You're tripping on it. You're correct. And that's really about all I'll say.
Okay.
Wow.
It goes out with a whimper. The X-Men Fox franchise. That's basically all I'll say. Oh wait, we talked about Godzilla already. That's right, we talked about it last time. I was thinking about other movies that I've seen.
Literally it.
Yeah, I have no interest in seeing Men in Black at all.
It's got
At
two
all.
comedic people I really like in their comedy stuff. So
The reviews that I have read, basically the only funny part is when they reference Avengers.
Ha.
That's yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, really, I'm just waiting for Spidey at this point.
Bruh, I am hot into Child's Play next week, so you can cut
yeah.
off.
Oh,
Child's Play
that
next week?
movie.
Child's Play
Oh, boy.
next
Pencil me in.
week. Next Thursday. # Child's Play.
Not Thursday.
Oh, no.
Chill out.
It's not. It doesn't look good enough for me to see it on Thursday, but I'm definitely seeing it opening weekend. Probably
Okay.
Sunday.
Yeah, another
So,
movie
yeah.
that I have no interest in.
Well,
that's
fair.
Mike.
No, it's fair. Yeah, you're also a wuss.
Yep.
But Child's
Correct.
Play is like half comedy, just like Freddy.
No interest.
What the worst.
So, is there anything else that you guys want to mention before we get into E3?
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
Okay.
You
So
got 5 minutes.
E3, like, in a way, started earlier last week.
Yeah.
It's like the first big announcement really was Stadia. Google had its own little like direct press conference thingy, just talking about Stadia, what it's going to be doing, price points, and what have you. I think the minimum speed that you need, and this is their numbers, nobody knows if this is true or not, a minimum of 10 megabytes per second, or megabits per second, to have 720 60 frames, I think.
Yeah.
And then you need 35 to get 4K 60 frames per second. Is this true? Who knows? I would assume they probably wouldn't want to market lies, so I'm assuming it's
Yeah.
true.
I
Basically,
don't give no shits about streaming games.
Oh no.
I am mostly a fighting game player. Like for Phoenix Wright, I would like it. It's fine, whatever. But for fighting games, I'm not. I can't.
oh yeah. For like competitive stuff, latency is always going to be an issue with that. I mean, there's like people complain about latency with certain monitors.
Yeah.
So adding internet on top of
it's
that.
a true thing. Don't
Yeah.
make it sound false.
No.
Oh, no.
It's true.
I'm not trying to. I know it is. First person shooters, fighting games, whole shebang. Yeah, like for me, like certain casual games, single player games, I'll say. It'll be like I love the Switch and having stuff on the go. Any more of that, I'm all for. We'll just have to see if the technology actually works.
I'm gonna say racing games are probably gonna be out.
Yeah. I can see that.
So you're left with like shooters, and I might do it for some turn-based stuff.
like like a Witcher cooperative shooters that aren't like PvP, because like the whole thing they have the I forget the name of it. It's like the Founders Edition or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I bought.
Of course you did.
Mhm.
Of course you did.
You get. I love
Consume.
one of their marketing points I found hilarious. While it's true, it's still fucking hilarious. So like you get a free Chromecast, like their upper end Chromecast, their Stadia controller, 3 months of Stadia, 3 months to gift to a friend. There's access to all of Destiny, including their newest expansion, Destiny 2. Sorry. And then it was and you get the first pick of username since you'll be one of the ground floor users. Like that's like, what a marketing point. It's like seems like no duh, but yeah. So Noob Slayer 69, that username, it's yours, buddy. If you get the Founders Edition. So yeah, there's that. That was the first announcement. They showed Baldur's Gate 3, which is a popular franchise for those that love D&D, and a couple of other, not exclusives, but like exclusive announcements. Next, we have, let me pull up, where's the list that I have? EA was the next one, and they didn't really they weren't at the conference per se, but they had like a full day of announcements and what have you. Their biggest one was they actually showed gameplay for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Game looks fun. Not gonna buy
It
it.
does look kind of like what was that last one with Vader's
I would,
apprentice?
for
Force
me,
Unleashed?
I would
It looks
say
like a better version of that.
I would put it more analogous to the Jedi Outcast series.
Jedi
You're like-
Outcast? I don't remember that one.
They were PC, and then Jedi Academy was an Xbox game, original Xbox game.
Okay.
Like how he used the Force powers and stuff reminded me a lot of that game, where you could like slow down time and run faster and all this different stuff, and how you can use the Force. It reminded me a lot of those games. Very good games. But yeah, I'm not gonna play it just because it's EA, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm kind of trying to stick to my guns on don't support shitty devs or shitty publishers. Next biggest announcement, Apex Legends. They have Season 2, new character, who looks pretty interesting. Let's see, Battlefield 5, new multiplayer map. It's a lot of nothing, really. From there on, FIFA 20 has stuff, Anthem. Talk about Anthem during EA Play. I didn't really watch any of EA stuff. I just looked at Star Wars game, and that was it. Sims 4 is getting a new expansion and a bunch of indie games. Not a whole lot. Next up was...
I know the Sims 4 expansion was talked about a long time ago. It's like a re-release of an expansion that was on another Sims game people have been asking for years, apparently.
Wow.
So it's like, it's not even a surprise. It's more people more just like, it took you this fucking long.
Yeah.
Sounds about right to me.
Yep. So next up, we have Microsoft. So first big announcement that they had, Cyberpunk 2077. Keanu Reeves is going to be in the game, and we have I'm gonna call it EA Wholesome Moment 1.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of these at EA. So they show Keanu's in the game. They have this whole big thing of him coming out and then explaining some stuff about the game, and at one point he's talking, and he's like, being able to walk around the cyberpunk landscapes and all this different stuff is truly breathtaking. And then someone in the audience just screams, "You're breathtaking!" And he just points to that dude. He's like, "You're breathtaking!" So that was like the first moment everyone's just like, Keanu's good people. going to basically breeze through the other announcements. Double Fine Productions is joining Microsoft, and they showed off Psychonauts 2. They showed a cinematic trailer for Gears 5 with the new mode. Phantasy Star Online 2 is coming to the West. That was a big one to me.
Yeah, that was a rather huge
I played
one. I didn't see
Phantasy
that
Star Online 1 when it was on the GameCube, even though we didn't have internet for the GameCube.
one.
And I had a lot of fun with that. So, and I know Phantasy Star is big.
Oh yeah, it's fucking huge.
Yeah. Tales of Arise, new Tales game. Give me.
Yeah, just it's bought.
Yeah.
Tales games are fun, and
So-
this is a Tales game.
And this is
What do you
actually
want?
this is the first Tales game too that was built ground up on current gen. Berseria and Zestria were first released on PlayStation 3. So,
Okay.
yeah. I was excited. Elden Ring, which is a collaboration between Hidetaka Miyazaki, the guy who makes Dark Souls, and George R.R. Martin, author of Game of Thrones and all those books. But, like, the trailer, it looks like a Dark Souls game. It was cinematic, and this is the problem that I had with Microsoft's
Wait, which game?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. Yeah, it's the Dark Souls game being made with George R.R. Martin.
Yeah. There wasn't really a whole lot. It was just like a lot of fantasy imagery and just the Elden Ring, the sky is on fire. Like, this is fantasy. Battletoads coming back. Microsoft Flight Simulator, which that actually was a pretty hype announcement for a lot of people. It is a very, very popular game that people want back. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which is another Dragon Ball game that's going to retell the story. Really, the thing that actually weirded me out about it is something that Ralph sent me.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, action RPG. So you're like going around doing a bunch of different activities and what have you. So in this game, there's fishing.
Yep.
And how you fish with Goku is you grab your severed Saiyan tail, reattach it, and then just squat on the pier like he did as a kid. Why? What the fuck?
Get it right on up in there.
Uh-huh. When I saw that, I was just like, Mike.
He's just so happy. He's just like, my tail! It's like Zelda showing it to the screen and just sticks it on his butt.
Yep. Literally, it's like a Zelda fucking moment where he just goes, bum, ba-da-da-da. You heard me do the thing and you know what it looks like. He does that.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I'll probably play
It's
it.
awful.
But
But other than that, it's just another Dragon Ball game. It looks like Xenoverse.
exactly.
Raditz
it.
to Boo.
Yeah.
And it's gonna sell.
Of
Boo.
course.
Yeah, okay.
Of course it is.
Y'all getting Frieza. Y'all getting Frieza. I don't know why y'all think. I don't know what y'all thinking. There's side quests. You running around flying all through the map just to find your checkpoints
It
and
might be Frieza.
your main story. Bruh, Namek is a planet. They're gonna go through the planet.
And then just the end credits will be like, who is this young man? It's Trunks.
This mysterious youth. Mm-hmm.
Y'all keep hoping.
Oh, indeed.
They had a trailer for Outer Worlds, which is the Obsidian Games RPG. Bleeding Edge, which looks like Overwatch meets League of Legends,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Minecraft Dungeons, just a Diablo-esque Minecraft game, really. Blair Witch, which I feel like you would potentially like that, BG, Mr. Horror Games.
Yeah, I thought it looked good. I would enjoy it. I'm gonna get
I
it.
rolled my eyes so fucking hard
It's
at that.
weird though.
Yes, that's why.
Blair Witch?
Yeah, the Blair Witch aspect is a strange one. My only thought is they're trying again for a movie, maybe even a TV series. I don't care. It looks alright.
Age of Empires 2 Definitive
That
Edition.
last
Okay,
Blair Witch
go.
movie was Terrible.
How long
Oh.
ago was that?
That was like 2000.
17.
Yeah, it was recent, like
Yeah,
16,
like-
17.
I feel like it wasn't
Yep,
too long ago.
16. 16. Terrible.
All right, movies aren't working. Let's try games. Nope, games aren't working. Let's try TV. They're just going through the mediums. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. I'm a sucker for Age of Empires. I will get that. Forza 4 is getting Legos mode. A bunch of different indie stuff. Spiritfarer looked kind of interesting. Legend of Right. Bunch of stuff coming to Xbox Game Pass, and they announced some different versions of Xbox Game Pass, including Ultimate, which has Xbox Live, Game Pass for Xbox, and Game Pass for PC. They showed off a new Elite controller, and then they gave a teaser for their new console, which was just a lot of jargon, specs,
Oh my
jargon,
god, it
jargon.
was so bad.
It was very jargony.
Yeah, like this
That's
is the
not how
future.
you do it.
This is the future. This is this. This is that. And we aren't going to see anything until next E3 and maybe a holiday 2020 release.
Disagree. That's not how you. I think they did say it was holiday 2020. I disagree. That's not how you do it, because the masses that care about the new Xbox are gonna get hyped for saying the new Xbox. But then you've got the jargon for the people that like to break down the specs and stuff. So I think it was a fine way to do it.
What would you guys have liked? What? Because
I think
I
you
didn't
wait-
see a problem with it.
I think you wait.
Yeah.
Like
what?
Sony has already announced the basic specs of theirs, and they didn't have a press
Mhm.
conference, and it's basically the same
Yeah.
Okay, wait for what though?
for when you actually have a box to show.
Not even a box. Not even that. Wait till you have something to show off with it. If your main competitor, which is Sony, already released the specs of their console and everybody can pretty much understand what it's gonna do, you need to just show what yours is going to do now. That's how you compete. What they did was just, hey, yeah, there's a new console coming. It's pretty much the same as the PlayStation. We'll see you next year. It was nothing. There was no point in even doing it. It's like lip service, like you said, BG. It's just literally, okay, new console coming. All right, you care about specs? Here it is. It didn't even need to be said on a stage. Sony generated the same amount of hype with a blog.
I don't think they did. I think it's a bail in to their entire conference. And, when you go to the Microsoft conference, people are going to be like, oh, Microsoft did all this and they announced the new console and they broke down and all these devs talking about what they can and can't do and all the possibilities of because for PlayStation, it was just like, okay, so here's an interview. Our specs are these. It's a coming. For
that's what
Xbox,
that was.
you got you got at least got devs talking about, oh, this is what we can do. This is what you guys can look forward to. We're striving for this amount of frame, this type of resolution, blah 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 blah. Engineers talking about it, blah 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 blah. You have people working on it, talking about it, instead of one guy in an interview just dropping, yeah, these are all our specs.
I don't really see a difference, to be honest.
There is no difference. It's just on one end, you're just filling an empty void with nonsense you don't even need. On the other hand, Sony just said, hey, listen, here's everything you need to know.
Okay,
Here's everything you need to know. Read it on your own terms.
Okay, but no, Xbox did the same thing, but then they also got their devs talking about it.
They're reading sound bites. It didn't do anything.
It's a showreel. Everybody at E3 is reading sound bites. Are you going every conference with just sound bite?
No, it's not
immersive
that.
and visceral.
No, it's not. It's not that. The sound bite that you're seeing with that has no substance. It's just the sound bite. Otherwise, everyone else's sound bites is usually paired with something. A game.
What is substance?
A game demo, a trailer, something. All they did was say the exact same thing that Sony said, but
I disagree. I disagree because
less impact.
I disagree because with your substance claim because people get hyped for Flash. People got stupid hype for Shenmue. People got stupid hype for Final Fantasy VII when all they were 3D trailers in like 17 seconds. They weren't in game. They weren't anything. People got hyped for Crackdown 3.
See, here's the thing: is when it's Sony. I'm going to jump off of what Amber just put in the chat, which is while that was going, it was getting to be too long, and I lost interest halfway through anyway. That is at the heart of the problem. Sony's was you can read it on your own terms,
but that's
get through it, figure it out, get in and get out. What Microsoft did is it created this giant bloated mess of a soundbite for something that would have just been better off saying, "Hey, the specs are on our website. Go check it out on your, whenever you want to or whatever." All it was
if they would have did that at their freaking conference, that would have been terrible. If they would have did it before their console,
not really.
If they would have did it before their before their conference, if they said, "Hey, the new Xbox is coming, go to our site to check it out," that would have been terrible. People would have been like, "Why didn't you talk about it at your conference?" If they would have did it before the conference, people would have been expecting to see it at the conference. They would have did it after the conference. They would have said, "Why didn't you just do this at the conference?"
There's nothing to say. There was nothing to say.
So when are they supposed to wait?
They just put out the information.
No. When are they supposed to wait?
Sony
doesn't have a conference.
That's the thing. Microsoft could have done literally anything. Anything
else. They did, but y'all didn't like it.
Because they could have done anything else with that time.
Anything else like what? They showed off their 60 games. They showed the new games they got coming. They showed what such and such is working on. They showed a teaser for Gears 3 and a new mode. Gears 5 and a new mode for it. They showed Halo or talked about Halo coming. What more? Forza, Just Dance. Oh, that was Ubi. What more do you want? What could that time? They even showed like indie games, like that time loop game. They even showcase stuff like that. What could those 4 to 5 minutes been put on where it's like, okay, I would have rather that than them talk about their new console.
If they had simply just announced its specs and moved on, that would have been fine for me. What they did
at the conference,
was too long.
It would have been terrible.
Not really.
Because remember when PlayStation announced the PS4, oh, this is how you there's used games, there's blah 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 blah, and they focused on it. If they would have just been like, there's used games later, people would have been like, oh yeah, that's hype, but like, give us something.
All we got was that extra dev talk that was unnecessary.
Necessary is in the eye of the beholder.
Okay, what did you learn from watching it?
What? I didn't view it as unnecessary.
I viewed it as unnecessary. Like
that's two people who are. Mike's a professional in the tech field.
Good for him! You can't just say
here's the thing. I'm getting there. Hold on. Let me finish my
foot. I'm a doctor, but I'm a brain surgeon. You can't just say he's at the tech field.
Let me get there. Let me get to my point. I have experience in the tech field just from an education point of view. Mike is a professional in a tech point of view, and we both got nothing out of it.
Can I stop you there?
Hold on. If people in the tech field didn't fucking care about the specs, who else is gonna care?
The people that care about specs. So you're saying you didn't care about it. So even if the specs were on a website, you wouldn't care about it.
But I didn't care about Sony's either. I glanced at it.
Okay, so what?
And that's all you need.
No matter what,
if someone who doesn't even understand what those specs mean, all this SSD technology is going to change so much about how we game. It doesn't mean anything.
But you know what happened when they said we're creating a new SSD? People that don't understand what SSDs are like, what's that? And they go, okay, there's going to be basically no loading times. They instantly explained the specs for people that do not understand what specs are. In layman's terms, we have this new CPU, which means your frames are going to go up. We have this new GPU, which means your visuals are going to be outstanding. For people that don't understand specs, if I just say we have the Zen Ryzen Zen Core 6, people are what does that even mean? But if they go, oh, your games are gonna look even better. This is going to be a generational leap like you've never seen before. Framing, your frames per second can go up to 120. People understand crap like that.
Okay, here's the big problem with that, is that you're now bloating it with, okay, we're putting in this piece of technology, it does this, it's going to do this for your game. You're adding 3 parts to an equation.
Mhm.
You can just as simply say on the stage, and literally it would take less than half the time, so this console is going to have faster loading speeds, it's going to have better graphics, it's going to have this, it's going to have that. We'll see you guys later when we have something to show off.
Okay.
You're out.
Okay, but at the same time, you do that, people are going to go, what's the specs? Because Sony showed
And
there.
then they're up
Every
on Microsoft's
hold on.
website.
Every console upgrade has faster loading time. Every
Mhm.
console upgrade has better visuals.
Yes.
Those are just words at that point. What are you doing? What's your stuff inside of it? Anybody can say our console is going to be faster. Yes, they all are. Anybody can say our console is going to look better. Yes, they all are. There's no
Okay.
difference there. You got to get specs for the specs people.
Okay.
They appeal to last thing. They appeal to everybody. They appeal to the specs people. They appeal to the casual gamer and the more hardcore gamer with all their talk.
Okay. Me and Mike literally just said we didn't care about the specs, and we're specs people.
But
They're
you
not
also
important.
said you didn't care about Sony specs.
But I understand what they are. I'm the type of person
And you
who judges the
understand what
technology based
Xboxes
on the
are.
technology. I didn't have to deep dive into it. You show me what's there, I move on just as fast. It's fine. People who don't understand what it is don't need to be told, okay, we have the this brand technology, we have this item in here with this. You're saying explaining more than they care about. The layman doesn't care about this graphics card being in the system. About
Yes, they
certain
don't.
The layman is
CPU
gonna buy
being
a
in there. You tell them what it does,
day one.
and then you put the list out there on your own time, on your website, on a blog,
The layman
something,
doesn't care.
and that's it. That's all people care about. Is your system be stronger? Yes. Congrats. Move on.
The
You
layman
don't
doesn't
need all that
care.
extra shit.
The layman doesn't care, but there are people that care. There are 3 areas to it. You two are hardcore gamers. You care about specs to a certain point, but you don't care about they're using the such and such is gonna have this many threads, it's gonna have this much gigahertz and all this. Y'all don't care about crap like that.
I think we're
Y'all
kind of
care
getting
about-
off, at the very least, we're getting off of why I viewed it as noise.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Why
because,
did you view it as noise?
like what Ralph said, there was really nothing to pair with it. We didn't
Pair
see
like what?
we didn't see the actual hardware, what it's going to look like, the box. We got a cinematic trailer.
Can I stop you right there? Dan?
I want to
The
just
initial.
I want to fully
Oh
explain.
no, I'm gonna because if you fully explain it, I'm gonna miss some stuff that I want to counter.
All right.
Like this always happens with us. You guys say, "Let me fully explain it," and I
But
can't
Mike is
counter
building
everything.
to a point. is
Oh, yeah,
what
I
he's
understand
getting to.
But he's not really building to a point. He's made his point, and now he's just doing the points of the points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is why it was noise 1, noise 1, noise 2, noise 3. So if I have to counter noise 1 and he's on noise 4, I have to do it each time. I remember one time, this is funny. I remember one time we did a podcast episode and we were trying to do the whole let somebody explain the whole thing and then the next person counter it. And it was somebody talking and then Mike was like, dang, I wanted to counter something, but I don't remember what it was. It literally happened in our cast. You go the whole length, sometimes there's some counter that people didn't know. See, even me talking right now, I don't even remember what Mike's point was. So how was I going to counter that? Mike, what was your point for the first one?
Noise. I said
No, after the noise.
there is no actual hardware box to show off. That
Oh,
was
okay,
number one.
yeah, that's what my point was. The initial announcement of the PS4 had no box, or the Xbox One had no box. One of those.
I
No,
would
both?
view it the same way either way.
I thought
Nah.
both showed a box.
No,
to
they
me,
didn't.
if you
they
don't
did not show the box.
Yeah, like if
The
you don't
initial-
have games to show with it, you basically just have here's stuff that we're going to put in it, and you have a like 2 to 3 minute just video segment explaining about the stuff you're going to put in it. Like Amber is quoting or in the chat right now. It just went on too long. I would have
2
rather
or 3 minutes is too long.
just for explaining some specs, yeah. Like, I would have rather the conference ended 2 to 3 minutes earlier. Because I know they didn't have anything else to show. Like, You're saying, what were they going to show? Nothing, because they don't have anything, because basically the whole fucking conference was cinematic trailers, save for the indies.
I mean, nobody forced you to watch it. You could have cut it off.
I'm aware. I'm just saying, if I'm looking at it and I'm going to grade this conference...
Yeah, you're allowed to
That's-
judge something. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, but if I'm not judging it because I don't care. I don't see why you should judge it if you don't care.
Sorry.
So Amber put it best. It was only 2 to 3 minutes. It felt like it was longer than that, and that's the crux of the thing: is the droning, that empty air just blathering. It was mind-numbing. It did nothing. It furthered nothing. It did nothing.
Because I'm trying
What was
to...
the point
again,
then?
Again, it's PR speak first off. So PR speak is gonna be
all of
PR
it is.
speak.
Always.
So, but at the same time, you broke it down for 3 different sects of people that are gamers.
And I would say probably 2 of
And-
those 3 sects didn't care.
And what were those 2 sects?
The
Well, for
casual
instance-
gamers... that
I
just don't care.
I have to disagree with that. I think the casual gamer is gonna get hyped with PR speak. Casual gamers eat up PR speak.
Okay, you
Casual
say that,
gamers-
but everyone
Casual
I know
gamers, casual
is
gamers,
saying the same thing.
freaking a year after the Xbox came out, still thought Xbox couldn't do used games
Also,
because that's how the
Amber is
PR was.
Amber is an ad/PR major.
I'm just
So-
saying.
So literally, people in this field are even saying Microsoft fucked up. This
But
wasn't
how?
good.
It wasn't good for who? Again, I say the casual layman, the people that are gonna watch E3 and basically nothing else as far as games. They're not gonna watch Tokyo Game Show, or maybe they'll watch PlayStation Experience.
So
but they're
you're talking
mainly
about my
gonna
brother
watch.
then. You're talking about somebody like my brother who just watches E3, takes the news, and moves on. A complete layman, a casual gamer. His
Layman
exact
casual
words to
gamer.
me were, "Why did I even bother watching that?" That's what he literally said to me. He doesn't
Why did you
understand
bother watching
technology.
Microsoft at all? It wasn't a great conference.
It wasn't. But that's the thing is, we're just commenting on the fact that
Okay,
their
but
announcement was
do you think
literally
this-
trash.
Do you think them showing the box would have made them go, "Whoa, yes"?
It did it before. It does it every time.
When?
Whenever they show what? Okay, every time a brand shows off their new console, the reaction is huge because you have the box. You have, even if it's hollow, which I think the PS3 was hollow. People still lose their shit because
My-
it's the spectacle of seeing it, knowing it's real, that makes people excited.
the
People
other
know
thing
it's
too
real.
is that it's so far out. Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
to me, this kind of announcement for something that is, we're gonna have to wait a year and a half
Mhm.
to actually get our hands on is.
But again, stuff like Final Fantasy and Shenmue.
I'm not gonna discount those things. Like
Yeah, it's just a blanket statement. That kind of announcement is superfluous. It's not good.
games, I feel like you can get kind of hyped for because there's story and other stuff that characters you can latch onto. But like
True.
for a product, a game console,
Games are a product.
a computer. Games have story, have emotion, have that too.
He's
When you're-
talking about a mechanism.
a hardware, a piece of hardware does not have a story. A piece of hardware does not have characters you can attach to. When
But
you
what is that-
have a device
People,
where
hold on, can I stop you for a second though? People attach to the consoles. People attach to the companies behind the console.
yes, but I'm talking
Otherwise, they
about
wouldn't be
having
consoles
an
anyway.
announcement for a game where you can attach to characters, when you can attach to storylines. It's not quite the same for consoles.
Then why did people get hyped for Crackdown 3 when it wasn't really characters? It was just a bunch of explosions and here's
People like
Crackdown
that.
3.
People like the Crackdown series. They like that world.
People
they
like the Xbox console.
Yeah, but it's still not like.
This is a whole new console.
Yeah,
This
That's
isn't
a
the
whole new
old
Crackdown.
Xbox. It's a whole different thing. Crackdown is still Crackdown.
Xbox still Xbox. The stuff they have is just better versions of the stuff they already have. However much RAM they're gonna put in it, and the type. However, the CPU, GPU that they get from AMD.
The
is
design
just
will be
better.
different.
No, it's just the better version of
The outside design will be different.
Yeah, absolutely.
The box itself, which is why the box release is such a spectacle. Again, the layman doesn't care what's inside. As long as that box that sits on their entertainment center does the job that they want it to do, they're happy.
Then why should they care to see the box?
Because
It's gonna do
people
the job.
love aesthetics. For instance,
Look
people love to show
Usually
off
when
their
people see
gaming
the-
thing, their gaming units.
When people see the box, it means it's coming soon.
But this isn't.
It's
I'm
not,
aware.
which is why this little announcement, quote unquote, was again superfluous and unnecessary.
I disagree because more people are going to watch E3 than go visit their website that the new Xbox is coming.
But yet, everyone, for the most part, everybody knows about Sony's new announcement of the PS5
Do you
and
think
on their own
more
blog.
people know about Sony's new console or Xbox's new console?
Sony's, hands down, because it's had
I
more time.
disagree.
No.
I vehemently disagree.
If you could find some evidence to back that claim up, please show me, because I know more people who even to the right now after
That's
the Xbox,
anecdotal.
I know I personally know from my own sample group.
Yes,
know more
anecdotal.
people who know about and are excited for Sony's console than Microsoft's, and I have many friends who are Xbox fanboys. Mike can attest to that. Almost all of my friends have been Xbox fanboys their entire lives. And most of them are only talking about how PS5 is going to be.
Anecdotal
How so?
because it's your personal experience. That's not
That's all.
numbers.
That's what shapes personal opinion.
Yes, that's
I'm
what
talking about from my samples. From
Yes.
You ask BG for empirical proof, and then you just goes, "My friends."
That's
No,
anecdotal.
I'm not. I'm bringing you empirical proof. I'm talking about my
You're giving
sample.
me, no,
group.
no. You're giving a sample
You
size
gave
of
your theory, but then I am giving you from my own sample group.
All of my brothers love the PS5. They all love it. Does that prove my point?
All my brothers asked me about Xbox. They didn't say anything about the PlayStation.
Okay, they asked you about it.
No,
Do they know about it? Do
they didn't.
compare and
It's
contrast?
what I'm saying, Ralph. They didn't ask me about it. But what I'm saying is that's anecdotal evidence.
No, it's not, because I'm not talking about someone's opinion of it. I'm saying more people care
You
about the
technically
Sony
are.
PS5 than the Xbox. No, I'm not technically.
But
I'm
again,
literally saying
anecdotal
that
is not
my
about
friend group. And
anecdotal is not about. It's not about opinions or not. It's about.
I'm giving you literal statistics.
No, you're giving me statistics from the people within your group. That's what
Yes,
anecdotal. That's
that
literally
have
what
a
anecdotal
history.
evidence is.
that have a history of Xbox,
Again, that's literally
Microsoft
what anecdotal.
attachment that are disinterested even after the announcement of the Xbox
Bro,
and
the
are
point
still
is,
more
the point is,
interested in
bro,
Sony's.
the point is, you can't prove this. You're just saying words. I know the Queen of England. These are
But
just
I
words. that you're
literally
saying.
can prove it. But I can literally text Kevin. I
Okay,
can
but
literally
also
No.
I can bring my brothers in and go talk about the Xbox.
No,
You're
okay.
excited about it, right? These
Yeah.
are just words.
Anecdotal evidence is stuff that's based on personal things as opposed to like numbers. Personally, your group says this. But what happens if 400 million people talk about Xbox and 100 million talk about PlayStation? Technically, your proof is still proof. Your
Yes.
group, listen, your group still did the things you're saying, but it's anecdotal. It's just personal experience as opposed to actual numbers. That's
Which
all
is in
anecdotal
contrast to your
evidence
statement.
is.
How? Yours
What?
is also an assumption. You also said, "Oh, people probably
No,
care
no,
about the
no.
Xbox."
All I
than
said
more
was
because
I
of the console."
disagree. This
You
is
disagree
my
based
no,
on
no.
evidence.
This is my personal opinion.
Okay. Based
I'm
on
not
what?
going. I'm not giving you anecdotal evidence of what other people are saying.
Again, but I'm asking you to base it on what you're basing it off.
But
of.
I didn't argue your opinion versus my opinion.
I'm not.
I
Either. I'm
literally
asking you
said-
a simple question: what makes you create that opinion? What makes you think?
because
that way?
more people view E3 than an article.
Where's that evidence? Where is that coming from?
Do you want me to
You're
bring up
making an
article
assumption
numbers?
on
Do you
layered
want me to
assumption.
here? I can do the views on articles from IGN and stuff about the PlayStation 5 announcement, and then we can go see the E3 conference and see and compare the numbers.
Not yet versus.
But then you would also have to compare the numbers of people restreaming.
Yeah, restream, but you also have to then go to the clickbait
Stream?
articles
Yes.
about the PS5 on YouTube on Kotaku.
Okay,
on
but
all those different
you're
news
looking
sites.
at streams, restreams, YouTube, as opposed to articles, videos about the article.
There is a lot of numbers. That's why you even bother to bring that up. You're sitting here arguing that my sample group's numbers are don't matter.
I didn't say that. I said it was anecdotal.
How you framed it.
No, I said it was anecdotal evidence.
You framed it in the vein that it was unimportant and didn't mean anything.
I didn't. I
You
said your statement is still true, even if 400 million people are talking about an Xbox and 100 million people are talking about a PlayStation. The numbers themselves say that more people are talking about Xbox than PlayStation, but your statement is still true. I never said your numbers do not matter. I said it was anecdotal evidence and it's not actual numbers.
But I never claimed it was actual numbers.
There's no.
I said it was statistical data. Sure,
but you're going. The people in my group, such and such. Yeah, the people that I know, such and such.
Yes.
But that's anecdotal evidence. That doesn't actually prove anything. It proves the people in your group are saying these things, but that doesn't prove that the court of public opinion believes these things.
I just said in the beginning that I was just basing this off of, again, my own personal sample group.
Yes, and that's absolutely
that was
fine.
it.
But that does not mean. But that does not mean that more people are talking about the Xbox. I mean, the PlayStation than the Xbox. It just means the people in your group are talking about PlayStation over Xbox. Those aren't. There's no survey. There's no numbers. It's just
as a contest to your idea that people care more about the conference announcement than an article announcement.
Yes, I believe more people. I believe more people watch conferences than read articles, and I can at least try to gather numbers.
You can't. Dissemination of knowledge makes that statement kind of moot, don't you think?
What do you mean?
Because people are going to be getting most of the information. Let's put it like it is. A lot of people get their information about this kind of stuff from reviewers or from third-party blogs and whatnot.
YouTube streams, Twitch.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So you're saying that, okay, maybe more people talk about the Xbox than the PS5, but the thing is, they're not going to have seen it on the actual conference now, because how people actually tuned in for it. I think there was maybe in the stream I was watching a little less than 30,000 on the full Twitch stream for Microsoft's conference. Less than 30,000.
That's also no, that's closer to actual evidence. But you also have restreams. You have different, because it's on the. Hold on.
The moment is no longer the official.
Hold on. You're on the Microsoft one or the Twitch one, whatever. Whichever one.
Twitch.
Okay, you're on the Twitch one. There's also the Microsoft one. There's also the E3 one. It's on Mixer. It's also on YouTube. It's fractured between like 7 official channels and 4 different websites.
I want to kind of put a pin on this.
Yeah, I literally was about to go into it, but I was just like,
there's no pin. We're never going to come back to this, and you know it.
It's fine because it's a moot point. It has no actual end.
Yeah. Although Versus does say hashtag one more match.
As you know what, as Amber put it pretty good too. You both are making anecdotal fallacies without having evidence with sources, etc. So all you still have so much to talk about. We should move on. We actually have no basis for our arguments.
For the last thing, for the people that say people don't care about specs, I looked up PlayStation 5. The 5 Google searches are release date, specs, price, E3.
Mm-hmm.
I think people care about specs.
People looked up the specs, but that was it.
Microsoft Scarlet. The very first just Microsoft Scarlet result is specs. Then the next is console. Then the next is cloud.
I will just say that's because there's all to talk about, but we're moving on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about it.
Because that's all there is to talk about.
Move on.
Anyways, last thing that they announced was Halo, but again, it was a cinematic trailer, and that was my big issue with the press conference. Was most of the big announcements were cinematic trailers. We didn't see gameplay.
Can I stop you again, here? Because I'm gonna have to go back to the new console. You said you were mad that they didn't show off things with the console like a game or something, but then they show a cinematic trailer and you go, I hated it. All they would have showed was cinematic trailers for the new Xbox.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that fact. I said it shouldn't have been shown.
Okay.
So, so really, if they don't have stuff for it, which they don't, I didn't think they should have showed it. That's really my point. And a lot of the other games that they showed too,
what?
stuff that's coming out this year or early next year, just they didn't show a whole lot of gameplay. So a lot of the stuff here and there that like I could have been excited about, I wasn't. At least a lot of their big stuff. So
Yeah, because
that was
CG is great, but you want to see at least an in-game engine render.
yeah, like for
That's
Halo, like we got a trailer last E3 and then we got a trailer this year, and I still really don't know
What is the engine
going.
going to look like?
Not even
Yeah,
that.
I
What,
appreciate.
for me, it's what is going on.
Okay, for me, I appreciate seeing how the game is going to run in engine, because even if it's an in-engine cutscene CG, at least you have a base understanding of what the engine is capable.
The trailer
Will it
said
deliver it that.
The trailer
Yeah.
said it was in engine.
Did it? I don't remember seeing
Yeah,
that.
it was in the beginning of the trailer.
Okay. Well, okay, then that's a little better for me. Then I'm a little bit more interested.
Yeah,
than I
for
was.
me, it was they find Chief in space. Stuff happened.
Yeah.
Other stuff happens. He jumps out of ship. Like, okay, what's going on? Why is he there? Like, are the Covenant enemies again? Is this a soft reboot? We keep hearing it's a soft reboot. Is it a soft reboot? Like, there's just not more questions than answers for the trailer. All right,
Yeah.
moving on. Next, we have Bethesda. I think they were next.
Air.
Yep, here we go. All right, so Bethesda. Fallout 76 has NPCs. Woo!
It's just. Ugh.
It's a game now, guys. Also,
Whoa.
okay, did any of you guys see any snippets from that press conference? BGDA?
No. I got no
That
interest in
crowd
that
was
character.
fake as shit. Some of the like dumbest announcements, like Commander Keen, which I guess is a classic franchise, but like I didn't hear of it. I feel like most people haven't heard of it. They get done with the trailer and it's a mobile game, and everyone in the audience is like, "Yeah, woo!" It's like, what?
Oh yeah. Screaming dude was everywhere.
Yeah, it was the thing. They showed off more of Elder Scrolls Blades, which is their mobile game that's also coming out on Switch. And they showed off a little bit more, or a new update for Elder Scrolls Online, Commander Keen. And next announcement is, I will call wholesome moment number 2. So they showed off this game called Ghostwire Tokyo. And Shinji Mikami, who's the creator of Resident Evil and The Evil Within, he revealed the game, but then he passed it over to his protege and the game's director, Ikumi Nakamura, who is this Japanese woman. She was a little rough on the English, but she gave all of these like very, very cute gestures and mannerisms and was spunky, and basically people fell in love with her right away.
I mean, she's responsible for a lot. I think she was part of the design team for Bayonetta.
Oh yeah, she's worked on a lot of stuff like Bayonetta.
Yeah, she's really
Resi.
fucking got some.
Yeah,
shit
she's got
behind
some
her.
pedigree.
I was watching that and I went, this lady is gonna get so over.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna hurt. And
It's
I went,
spooky.
it's good for her. Because
There's-
I'm like, I'm in there. I get it.
There's
She
so
is,
much.
she's already over, but she's gonna catch fire. And she caught fire.
There's so much fan art of her and Keanu right now. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
good.
She shared a whole bunch of fan art people are making about her now on Twitter.
She's so
And
happy.
I was just laughing my ass off. She's
so-
like, "Holy shit, y'all like me!"
yeah, she's like, thank you so much. This is like
Yeah.
good people
No,
number 2.
These are my treasures.
Yes.
Like, oh,
Yep. Yeah, these are my treasure. Exactly. Yes.
And the
a
game
sin to heaven, queen.
yeah, the game looks interesting too. Deathloop, which is the Arcane Studios who made Dishonored and Prey. It's like Groundhog Day, but with assassins. Wolfenstein Youngblood, DLC for Rage 2. Orion, which is another streaming thing. Another trailer for Doom Eternal. That's really about it. Really, it was Ikumi. That was like the the best thing about the Bethesda press conference. And the fake crowd. The fake crowd was funny.
Yeah.
All right, moving along, we have Ubisoft. They showed off the new Watch Dogs, which actually I am excited about. This is one of the things that actually I was like, you know what? This looks fucking awesome. The fact that every single NPC in the game is a playable character is fascinating to me. From just developers are doing like these little things here and there that from like a development perspective fascinates me, where they're actually fleshing out everyone in this city. The old lady gameplay was fucking awesome. Helen is so good. I recommend people look up the trailer and watch her gameplay. Like, the first one shows like this young British dude like beating the crap out of people, jumping over barriers. He ends up getting killed. And then you go to old lady Helen. She tases people. She like struggles to get over a barrier. It is awesome. I guess they announced a story creator for Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yes.
Whatever. So wholesome moment number 3. They showed off the new Ghost Recon with John Bernthal, and John Bernthal goes on stage to talk about the game, and he brought his dog.
The good boy.
And his dog was a good boy. And the dog then was getting added to all of the Keanu and Ikumi fan art.
There's no reason why that dog should get over like Ikumi. Not even a quarter. It's a dog. And this is a nice lady. I hate it. I legit hate it. Keanu's fine. Not Ikumi.
It's a dog.
It's a good boy.
People like dogs, dude.
I hate it.
People like dogs.
Shut up.
People like dogs.
There's a new Rainbow Six cooperative like zombie game coming out.
Yeah.
This is the E3 of subscription services.
Yeah.
Uplay Plus, a subscription service that gives you access to a bunch of stuff. And they said it's also going to be on Stadia, which begs the question, do you need the Uplay Plus subscription and the Stadia subscription to be able to stream the games on
Probably,
Uplay Plus?
yeah.
Probably. Yeah. But just like
I think Stadia is literally just going to be an in-between service.
They announced it, and then like they announced like all the different stuff, and the people in the audience were like, It was like a half-hearted clap, and she actually like called out the Google Stadia dude in the front row, and like he kind of had a look of like, don't bring me into this. Division movies heading to Netflix. Roller Champions, which is a multiplayer roller derby game, which kind of feels Rocket League-ish, which is good. And then the announcement that actually piqued my interest, which was Gods and Monsters, which is essentially a Breath of the Wild ripoff, and I'm okay with this. It's made by the guys who made Assassin's Creed Odyssey, very vibrant art style, open world. They were talking, I guess they had some gameplay at the convention that they showed off. And there's a stamina meter, focus on exploration, open story where you can do it as you will. So it sounds like it's basically Breath of the Wild, and
yeah,
give me more Breath of the Wild.
As long as the fucking combat system is different, I'll be happy.
And they said it's more freeform than Odyssey and not as stiff and rigid, which to me sounds like Zelda. Which
I'm totally fine with.
Yeah, really, Watch Dogs and Gods and Monsters were the two announcements from there. Moving on, we have Squenix. First thing they showed off was Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it looks pretty damn good. Yeah, I know you two are gonna groan, but combat system looks.
Because that's people put it over 10, which is a superior game. It's not even in the same league. People speak of it as if the roles are reversed. It's 10, huge, a power drop off, and then 7. and people flip that, and it ain't right. I'm sick of it.
Combat
Gotcha.
system is like 15 in Kingdom Hearts.
Understand.
Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 15 merged basically, and then they have these like slowdown moments that kind of brings the turn-based action into the game too. So they kind of combine the best of, well, not the best, but at least combined both aspects of Final Fantasy's history. Game looks beautiful. They showed off the first boss fight from the game, and it just made me pumped for like fights with Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Showed off gameplay of Tifa, of Barrett, basically,
People
and then
losing their fucking minds about Tifa.
oh yeah, people are upset that her boobs are smaller, as the internet is,
It's
As-
so stupid. I saw a great tweet that was fucking pointing this out. It's like the people saying this don't understand that this game is going for realism. Her boobs are not small.
truth.
People just think E cup is fucking big. It's like that's not how it works.
And they gave a cast listing of a bunch of different characters, a few recognizable voice actors and actresses, and a few that weren't. Most like a couple people that are actually from TV that I just never recognized. But yeah, that was basically, they started off with a lot of hype. Showed off Dying Light 2, Outriders, The Last Remnant Remastered, which is out now, and I'd never played it. I'd always seen it in
It's
like
not
rental
great.
stores when I was
It's not
younger.
great.
It's not great?
It's not great. It's not great.
No, well, I bought it, so I'm
People
gonna play
love it. People love it. You might be one of those people that end up loving it.
All right.
To me, it's not good.
Okay. But like, to me, like, I saw that, I'm like, oh, I always wanted to play that, and it's like out for Switch now. I'm like, oh, cool. Dragon Quest Builders 2, Dragon Quest 11, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered, which I played that a bunch when it was on the GameCube with my buddy Ian, so I'm excited for that. Oninaki, which was announced, I think it was a Nintendo Direct that they announced it. Square Enix Collective, I don't remember what that is. The DLC for Kingdom Hearts, which
Yeah, remind.
like, you get to play as Roxas, that's cool, but besides that,
That'd be cool.
I like Roxas' fighting style.
Yeah.
The 1.5 fights that we got with him with the dual keyblades was fun.
Yeah. No, Roxas's fight style is fucking cool.
But I like his fighting style. So
Yeah, no, it is genuinely cool.
Mm-hmm. Final Fantasy 14 update, Final Fantasy 8 remaster, which I didn't realize when I watched the trailer. Like, I watched the trailer, I'm like, oh, like, they made the graphics HD or whatever. But then I saw a side-by-side of the remaster versus the original, and holy fuck, did they gloss
Oh,
it
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah, it's very different.
It's like, oh, you couldn't see their faces at all before. It was a pixelated mess.
Yeah. I would love something like that for Dragoon.
Oh, yeah.
The Panzer Dragoon fucking one had me laughing. I'm like, oh god.
You
Oh,
ruined,
so
you ruined
okay.
my joke. I was waiting. I was waiting to get to Nintendo to make that fucking joke, asshole. Be like, hey, look, it's a Dragoon game.
I saw them announce that and laughed. I was like, oh, that's a few words shy of a game BG's hoping for.
And then the last thing was the Avengers game, which I guess they do have gameplay. Like, there was gameplay in the trailer, you just couldn't really tell it was gameplay. And a lot of people are getting pissy that it's like, oh, they made it look live action, but they didn't make it look like the MCU. I don't fucking get it. Like,
Eh,
Bruh, the amount of money you would have to pay RDJ alone.
yes. And
oh,
like,
yeah.
worth
No-
it.
Nobody
weren't-
can afford RDJ.
Not
Why
that
weren't-
it's not worth it, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
You gotta put an F on it.
why weren't people complaining about that with Spider-Man? Like, to
Yeah.
me, it's a dumb thing to get hung up on.
It really is. What's his
but-
name? The guy playing Iron Man. Who was it again? I forgot.
Nolan
his name
North.
already. Yeah, it was Nolan North. Okay. Nolan North put out a
That's
tweet
a
the
easy
moment
choice.
that played. He's like, "I am Iron Man." The reactions to that tweet were amazing.
Yeah, it has Troy Baker, Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham,
Wow,
Nolan
what
North,
easy choices.
and then I
I
don't
mean,
I
What
don't know who's
voice
playing
actor?
Cap.
You're a dude.
I'm just saying.
Hey, they're I would say besides Travis, he's typecast. But most of them are like the biggest names in the game. And so
What voice actors?
you're not a fan?
No, I just prefer that if they reached a little bit deeper.
Just for
Erica Harlecker and Piss, the voice of Futaba. Man, I feel bad for not knowing.
Erica Limbeck?
I
No.
Limbeck.
It is Limbeck.
No, yeah, Limbeck. Yeah, those are like they're rising up and up and up. But Laura, Nolan, Travis, get Yuri and Tara in there as well. Just get all the obvious names. It's obvious. That's my problem.
Okay.
They didn't,
Well, like,
I feel
I know-
like they didn't try.
How is Ian Sinclair not voicing everybody?
That man is
I
mad.
know Travis
But-
and Laura have played Thor and Black
Yeah.
Widow in other
Travis,
stuff, so that
Travis
makes sense.
has been Thor for the longest time, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But everything else is just me rolling my eyes. I'm a voice actor guy, so it's just like, this could have been a nice opportunity for give somebody a little bit more shine, because she's giving them like, hey, I played Iron Man, but Nolan North done already played 100,000 people. He didn't need that.
But yeah, from
That's a whole. You get your job based on talent, not on who deserves it or who's going to be better for the future. I understand that, but I would, if I were the casting choice, I'd be like, let's maybe not do Nolan and this and this and this and this and this. That's all.
It's a Critical Role, but Avengers, and kinda. But yeah, the gameplay that I guess was shown off, the fan favorites have been Thor and Hulk, and people were not liking Iron Man's because I guess like a section of it was on rails, like a non-rails flight section. Black Widows was, I guess, a bunch of QuickTime events, and Caps, they were comparing it a lot to Arkham and Spider-Man combat, which, whatever. And I guess they're going to be adding more Avengers as the game goes on. They, showed off Hank Pym a little bit. No gameplay of him, but just a cutscene of him, and they had said that like there are rumors that they will add Hawkeye eventually. So I feel like there's just going to be a lot of different gameplay styles, action adventure type stuff. We've barely seen anything. To me, it looks good.
Yeah. Until I see like more of it. I thought I heard somebody talking about like a character creator, so I'm just like,
Well, that was the rumor, and that got squashed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought I heard rumors of that, and I was just more excited for that
X-Men
aspect.
Legends.
If this is an on the rails type game where you're just
Never
playing
learn.
along,
That game was so bad.
It was so terrible. Y'all just don't learn.
And then we have Nintendo. So they started off with showing the next DLC character for Smash, which is not one protagonist from Dragon Quest, but 4 protagonists from Dragon Quest. Just as different skins, I'm assuming, all about Bowser Jr. And yeah, he looks interesting. I think the menu was just for show in the trailer, but yeah,
I don't think so.
You don't think
they
so?
They showed him using those moves.
Yeah, but like they also showed like Mega Man doing all the Robot Master stuff in his trailer for Smash 4, but then they just ended up being his moves. They weren't like from a menu or whatever. So
But they showed him doing fire and then doing something else and then something else, and then they showed 3 whole separate.
I'm inclined to believe it's not, but we'll see. Obviously, But yeah, the Kamikaze. I'm curious how that's going to work. It's like, I'm at 210%. Boom. Just nuke yourself. Which basically, I gotta love Twitch chats where I'm like looking at people, like certain announcements come up and just like, yawn, boo, move on. It's just like, oh boy, Japan's freaking the fuck out right now because Dragon Quest is huge there.
Big, huge.
Some
Somebody had a leaked list that included those two.
Yep. So
I don't remember who else was on it though.
Yeah, I've been meaning to look up that list. Then they had what I'm calling wholesome moment number 4, the last wholesome moment, where they begin like with one of the bigwigs from Nintendo talking, and then Bowser, the character, shows up in a tie and starts trying to give his version of whatever the events are, and then the new Nintendo of America CEO, Doug Bowser, comes out and is like, whoa, 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 whoa. There's a mix-up here, wrong Bowser, and then just the whole little fun little moment. And that's the last thing I keep seeing. It's just like, these were the best. Protect these people.
What I found funny is that I think it was Nintendo's own Twitter, shared that they had to have text bubbles for the Japanese version of that because nobody got the joke, because nobody knows who Doug Bowser is over there yet.
Yeah.
So
in that
like
section, they use 6 moves.
We will see. We will see.
It's literally 6 moves. BG, look at this.
But yeah, no, that was funny. Watching them having to explain it to the Japanese population, like, hey, this is Doug Bowser.
Yeah.
And this is not Doug Bowser.
So they first showed off Luigi's Mansion. Looks good. Basically has the classic gameplay, and they added a bunch of stuff to make things interesting, along with Gooigi, and then a 4-player. Oh fuck! There's some kind of mode in a game that I'm trying to think of where it's just like
He
you keep
has an
going through
MP meter.
Again, that could just be added post. I'm just saying. Anyways, new Luigi's Mansion looks good. It's coming out soon.
Of course, it's Ouija.
Dark-
Every year is the year of Ouija.
Although a lot of people were, the jokes that I kept seeing were just like, Luigi literally has to shit out a friend because no one likes him. It's like, ooh.
Y'all can stop that. Ouija the goat.
That's cold, people.
No. We don't pay attention to them. Don't pay attention to them, Ouija. You the man.
They're making a Dark Crystal game, a strategy game. Showed off more of Link's Awakening. Looks as good as it did. Witcher 3 is getting ported to Switch. A lot of people were joking about it, but it's happening. Resident Evil 5 and 6 are coming to the Switch. So, BG, I think we need to revive an old gameplay playthrough.
It's on PS4. Why wouldn't we do it on that?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
No More Heroes 3 official announcement. That was kind of my first little bitty pop off. I love this series so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm so happy that the indie game did well enough. So yeah, give me more No More Heroes. New trailer for Daemon X Machina, mech battles we saw before. Panzer Dragoon, hey PG, it's a Dragoon game. Okay, moving on. Pokemon Sword and Shield. We'll have Pokeball support, or the Pokeball controller from Pokemon Let's Go. They showed off a new gym leader, which, again, every female announcement from this game, the thirst has been real.
Oh, big time.
Oh my.
Huge.
Just immediate. Like, I don't know who the designers are in this game, but I feel like after every trailer, they're just like going on the internet, just like, fuck, come on, guys.
Oh, it's intentional. They're like, no, give them waifu.
Oh, yeah.
It's intentional.
There's like 4 of them already.
Yeah.
But
waifu game simulator.
a big, after the fact, a announcement about the game came out that is pissing off a lot of people, which I have a feeling they're going to patch this out or add patches. At launch, only the Pokemon that are in this region's Pokédex will be able to be played in the game. If it's not in the
Yeah.
Pokédex, you cannot transfer it to this new game. So people are pissed. Which,
I mean, they haven't had a national dex in a while.
Nerds.
well, like,
Eat it.
they haven't
So
had a
people-
national
at
dex,
least
but all
the
the
the big Pokemon fan that I know has said that it's not a surprise, but it's aggravating.
well, no, it's like they haven't had a national dex, but all Pokemon have still been able to be played in the games. This is the
Yeah.
first game where you won't be able to actually play that.
Yeah, exactly.
Suck
So-
it, man, children.
So, what was I thinking? Like, from a development point, I understand. They already delayed the game once, and there's fucking 800 of these things now. So it's going to be
Mhm.
harder and harder to actually have them all in. My guess is, as the game goes on, they're going to add them in some kind of free DLC or some kind of package or whatever. They're going to add the rest in to be able to be played. They wouldn't make a fucking cloud-based mobile app that you can access on your phone and not eventually give you access to trade them to the later games. So it's going to happen later on. And then actually in another bit of news, because this wasn't in the conference, they fixed a problem. In an update after the game is out, you will be able to play Mario Maker with your friends online.
Yeah, that was a good little bit of info drop, little
Yeah.
backpedaling and fixing the
Like,
awful mistake.
Sorry.
Oops.
Yeah. We didn't think you'd care. Of course, Nintendo. Of course. Crypt of the Necrodancer has the Hyrule update. They showed off a bunch of other games that are getting ported: Doom, Alien Isolation, Spyro, Dauntless. There's a bunch. They showed off the new Animal Crossing. You're on your own private island, deserted island, and you're basically building a town from scratch. One of the things that actually got me really hype is that there's a pole to cross rivers. You don't have to go to the fucking bridges anymore, which
Mhm.
just that alone, I was just like, this is great.
Yeah.
They didn't have to add
No,
anything
Animal
else.
Crossing looks legit cool.
So yeah, new Animal Crossing looks good. Got delayed, but which fucking gotta love investors. You delay a game and your stock tanks by 1 billion. Just gotta love it. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. They announced their second DLC character, which was Banjo. And I loved how they did the trailer. Literally repeat from E3 last year, just with the Rare Boys. K. Rool was there. I loved how they celebrated too. Like they show up Banjo and just they're all like, yeah, all happy. Banjo looks great. Whole bunch of different moves, references from the series. I think the stage, Spiral Mountain, it actually spins.
I
Like-
hope so.
If you look during one point where they're on top of the canyon, there's there's an item box there. The box is moving as the stage is turning. So I think Spiral Mountain literally fucking spirals. I'm excited. So yeah, like the whole memes were the West for the Dragon Quest people, non-celebration. The West for Banjo, celebration. Japan for the Dragon Quest people, celebration. Japan for Banjo, non-celebration. And then their final announcement was that a sequel to Breath of the Wild is in development. And which was out of left field. I wasn't expecting anything for that for a while. So, I mean, I screamed in my car because it's me. But,
That's all you needed to say, Mike. It's
Yep.
you.
Yep. And that basically covers all of like the new stuff. So, how I've been describing this E3 is that it's like a very, very patchy rib bone, but when you got meat, there was meat. There wasn't a lot, but some of the good stuff was good. But I will say this has probably been the worst E3 in,
Recent memory.
I want to say, in the last 5 years, because like there's been a couple bad E3s within the last half decade, and I'd say this is the worst out of all of those. Which begs the question: is E3 out the door?
Oh,
Sony-
I think so.
Sony
It's-
dropped.
I mean, it's the end of the cycle of this generation. The
Like,
same
yeah.
thing happened the last cycle. It was
Yeah.
a terrible E3.
Yeah, next year will kind of really determine if it stays. If Sony comes back, unless they start doing their
And
own
guess
thing.
who's going?
You're going?
Yeah, I'm going to E3.
Ooh. Nice. What if
Okay.
Sony's not there,
And-
though?
I'm still going.
Okay. Yeah, I get to play stuff.
I prefer Sony to be there. I thought about this a long time ago, but I'm a Sony guy. Ralph was an Xbox guy. You were a Nintendo guy. It's so weird.
DA's a guy.
Questionable. We both couldn't wait.
But yeah, we got the spectrum covered pretty well.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to Breath of the Wild, which at this point, like, I've watched all the videos that disseminated the trailer. Like, it's Ganondorf, but like, now I have to wait because they ain't gonna show shit for a while now.
No.
Like,
DA
if
is a trap.
if I had to guess, they're gonna release Breath of the Wild because they're
Someone
using the
gets
same.
trapped by me. That's their fault.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong.
Yeah.
Ain't even got hair.
It's using the same engine. They're doing Majora's Mask to what was Ocarina of Time. So it's going to be a faster turnaround. But I'm guessing they're probably going to time it with Metroid Prime 4, just so they can have two big games in the same year. Which, yeah, like a lot of people were like, "Where's Metroid Prime 4?" It's like they fucking restarted development. Of course, no one's going to see that. And then there's no big. Oh, Astral Chain was the other thing that they showed off, the Platinum Games game. And they didn't show Bayonetta 3 just because I had completely forgotten that it's in development hell right now. The guy who is one of the big wigs for Bayonetta 3 is working on Astral Chain, and he just hasn't had inspiration to work on Bayonetta 3, so it's kind of just stuck. Probably until this game comes out.
As well it should be.
Ooh, that's that's pretty cold.
Yeah, I said it.
I withhold judgment until I see hair.
Bruh, did you really like Bayonetta 2?
Yes.
Then shut up.
It's a really
Yeah.
good game.
Then shut up.
It's really,
Really?
it's a really good game.
Shut up.
But it was better the second time when I could put the hair on her.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
He's your brother.
Is he?
Yeah.
I question it every day. Oh,
And he's
I almost had to buy an Xbox.
Oh.
really.
I thought the Outer Worlds was only on Xbox because they just bought Obsidian. I was like, I want Outer Worlds, and I'm gonna have to buy an Xbox. But it don't.
Nope, you're good.
But it don't.
Obsidian. They make good stuff. South Park.
They make great stuff. Fallout New Vegas was tremendous.
KOTOR 2. While even unfinished, was still great.
They got Microsoft monies. Their next game is gonna be ridiculous.
Here's hoping. So anything else before we sign off?
Who
Not for
cares
me.
about Final Fantasy VII remake?
Who cares?
Me.
Everyone's crying about it just being in Midgar for the first half, even though the game is 2 discs just for the first half. People
Alex.
still crying.
Oh,
Still
true.
crying.
Alex cares.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Nobody
I-
worth
I
my
would-
time.
I would love for that to just flop. It's never going to.
There's no way.
There's no. But people are like, you don't think a fun. This is before there was even a whisper of an announcement. You don't think a Final Fantasy remake would sell 10 million copies within 2 years? I'm like, no. It's already at 10 million. Yeah, it's been out for 40 years on every platform. Like, shut up.
It is out for basically everything now. Fuck, there's something on that note I was gonna say.
Give me
I
your
forget.
gun. Get up.
Never gonna happen. All right.
Never say never.
25 facts about meat.
You have a Dragoon. It's
Okay.
just not the one you want.
Mike was talking about how this E3 was like meat or something.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
or something. So that's what I use. Mike said some words. Let's go. Pick a number.
Because that's what I usually try to put in my mind. Like, okay, I can spin this to a fact. And I was like, oh, I don't have a fact. And Mike was like, oh, something about meat. I was like, all right.
Okay.
Dude, I'm always on the grind. You know what I'm
Are
saying?
you? If you scrambling for meat facts?
I wish we did titles. Scrambling for meat facts.
We're gonna go 18. Where it's legal to beat your meat in front of somebody else.
Tick bites can make people allergic to meat. A bite from a lone red star tick can cause allergic reactions to red meat.
Yep.
I would
That's weak.
cry.
I would cry.
That's
That would be
terrible.
I need
horrible.
all my meat.
But then again, if you're like I'm never gonna eat meat again, you're forcing yourself to be vegetarian.
What an extreme measure.
Yeah,
I don't
You know.
trust myself. Feed, tick, feed.
sure. You know what? I don't trust myself to drink. You know what I don't do? I don't drink.
Which is astounding because I keep much alcohol around.
So, I was walking through a casino.
Mhm.
I'll tell this. It's not important.
Okay.
End of podcast.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you everybody for tuning in to this episode of the podcast of the stuff. I agree versus one more match. we got a glimpse. It's been a while since the Ralph BG debate. We will see you next week, hopefully talking about Dark Phoenix.
Yeah. Later.